Return to a time when daily life revolved around printed newspapers, rotary phones, and heartfelt conversations in person. The 1970s and 1980s marked a transformative chapter in American culture, as music, fashion, and technology advanced in ways few could have predicted.
Street scene from the early 1900s. A group of children plays carefree beside a decomposing horse on one of New York's many cobblestone streets. Contestants in the Redhead Bathing Beauty Contest line up at Luna Park in Coney Island on July 4, 1901. Period swimsuits and shy smiles mark the unusual event. A carriage taxis stand at Madison Square Park around 1900. While the coachmen wait for passengers, two elegantly dressed young women walk along the sidewalk. A vibrant scene on Mulberry Street, the heart of the Italian neighborhood, Little Italy, in Manhattan's Lower East Side around 1900. Portrait of a woman in a swimsuit alongside a swimming instructor, who, interestingly, bears a resemblance to Nikola Tesla, lying near the waves at Midland Beach, Staten Island in 1898. A group of people, mostly children, pose in a narrow alleyway in Cherry Hill, a former neighborhood in the 4th Ward of Manhattan's Lower East Side, in 1888. Pedestrians brave a snowstorm on the streets of New York around 1899. Silhouettes wrapped in snow cross the city in frozen silence. A pretzel vendor faces the camera on the bustling 6th Avenue around 1910. His watchful gaze reveals the harsh routine of street workers. The X-Man, James Clark, winner of the Brooklyn Marathon, poses with fellow competitors on February 12, 1909. Street scene on Pell Street, the heart of Chinatown, in 1909. A vivid portrait of everyday life in one of the most vibrant immigrant communities in early 20th century New York. The bustling sands of Coney Island around 1904, dozens of beachgoers spread across the shore, enjoying the sun and sea in a relaxed atmosphere. Immigrant children recite the Pledge of Allegiance at the Mott Street Industrial School in 1889, a powerful portrait of the American dream in the making. A poor English coal workers family in the Lower East Side, photographed in 1890, a man, a woman, and two children share a modest space marked by the harshness of immigrant life. A street scene at Flatbush Avenue with 4th Avenue and Hanson Place in Boerum Hill, Brooklyn, 1910. Pedestrians, horse-drawn carts and electric trolleys share the space amid the urban architecture. The bustling Delancey Street, looking west toward Allen Street and the Williamsburg Bridge, Manhattan, 1907. Three girls play with dolls as a woman looks on, standing in front of clothes hanging on a line atop a rooftop of a skyscraper, around 1919. Immigrants in 1897. A street organ player performs while his wife holds a tin cup to collect donations. A touching scene of the daily struggle for survival. Circa 1898. Elegantly dressed men and women stroll along Fifth Avenue in front of the Plaza Hotel, between 57th and 59th Streets, as a horse-drawn carriage rests by the curb. Men enjoy fresh clams straight from a street vendor's pushcart at Mulberry Bend, around 1900. Longacre Square in New York City, around 1904. Shortly afterward, it would be renamed Times Square in honor of the newly opened headquarters of the New York Times, whose iconic tower already dominates the landscape. In May of 1903, amid the hustle and bustle of the city that never sleeps, a man crosses the busy Greeley Square, passing by newsboys shouting the day's headlines along the hurried sidewalks of New York. People pose in a narrow, run-down alley off Mulberry Street, known as Bandit's Roost, near the notorious Five Points neighborhood in Lower Manhattan in 1888. A street scene shows pedestrians braving the cold as they walk along Fifth Avenue at 27th Street, just after a heavy snowstorm, around 1905. Three homeless boys sleep exhausted on the dirty steps of an alley in the Lower East Side, after a long day of work, around 1888. A lady serves a drink to a man seated at a table in a summer house in Broad Channel, a peaceful island community in Jamaica Bay, Queens, around 1910. Several people crowd together with basins and buckets to collect free ice during a severe heat wave in New York, around 1900. A scene of bathers enjoying the summer season at Coney Island, around 1900. Modest swimsuits and seaside crowds capture the spirit of the era. A miniature electric railway at Luna Park, around 1905. Interestingly, most of the passengers appear to be adults, captivated by the technological novelty. Circa 1890, a group of prisoners marches in the dreaded lockstep formation inside the Blackwell's Island Penitentiary, now Roosevelt Island in New York City. View of children and adults in the inner courtyard of a tenement building at 24 Baxter Street in 1890. A cramped and shadowy space serves as the backdrop for daily life. A playground at Hamilton Fish Park, April 2nd, 1909. Children play under the watchful eyes of adults in a rare moment of leisure in urban New York. A small group of the poor in a Lower East Side slum, New York City in 1890, faces etched with the daily struggle amidst urban poverty. A lifeguard poses at Brighton Beach, Brooklyn, around 1905, dressed in period attire with a watchful gaze. Street scenes of New York City in 1896. On the bustling sidewalks, a sponge vendor displays his goods to passing pedestrians. Girls with doll sleds take part in the children's parade during the Winter Carnival at Upper Saranac Lake, New York, around 1909. Mrs. Lucy Libertine and her 3 young children, ages 4, 6, and 9, gather nuts in the dark basement of a tenement at 143 Hudson Street in December 1911. A bustling scene along Fifth Avenue at 42nd Street around 1908 shows carriages, pedestrians, and the fast-paced rhythm of a transforming New York. Amid the tranquility of the city's most famous park, children enjoy rides in peculiar goat-drawn carriages in Central Park in 1904. May 16, 1908, Mott Street comes alive with flags and decorations for a traditional Italian festival. The community celebrates with devotion and joy, turning the heart of Little Italy into a vibrant scene of religious festivity. June 1906, Percy Megagill and David Fassett pose with the REO Mountaineer on 162nd Street in the Bronx at the end of an epic 10-month, 11,000-mile journey from New York to San Francisco and back.